Today on Rappler. The Department of Migrant Workers may file a case over the 1.4 billion peso deal sealed by dismissed OWWA chief Arnell Ignacio. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is open to reconciliation with the Duterte family. Fact-checked, former President Rodrigo Duterte has not been released from ICC detention. The U.S. government cut $60 million in Harvard grants over alleged failure to address campus antisemitism. And U.S. Vice President Vance invites Pope Leo XIV to an official visit home. The Department of Migrant Workers is looking into filing a case related to the 1.4 billion peso deal that led to the dismissal of Overseas Workers Welfare Administration Chief Arnell Ignacio. DMW Secretary Hans Kakdak says Tuesday, May 20, they know for sure Ignacio was involved in a 1.4 billion peso land acquisition transaction that bypassed the OWWA Board of Trustees. He adds, there was a deed of absolute sale and payments were made. He says they are digging deeper and finding out more details. He did not rule out that other OWWA officials may have been involved. Kakdak says he got word of the transaction in late 2024 because of a white paper detailing the allegations. The Sun HK reported about a letter obtained from a DMW source where concerned OWWA employees reported the alleged anomalous transaction to Malacanang, the DMW, and the Office of the Ombudsman and the Bureau of Internal Revenue in November. Ignacio has not issued an official statement on the matter and has yet to respond to inquiries from Rappler. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. says he is open to reconciling with the Duterte family. This, a week after allies of his estranged Vice President Sara Duterte outperformed expectations in a fiercely contested and pivotal Senate race. In a podcast posted on his Facebook page on Monday, May 19, Marcos said he needed friends rather than enemies as he wants to deliver his agenda in his remaining years. Marcos answered yes when asked if he would be open to mending fences after a fallout between Marcos and the Duterte camps.
Hanggat maaari, ako, ang habol ko yung stability, peaceful, para magawa namin yung trabaho namin. Kaya ako, laging akong bukas sa ganyan.
Duterte's office did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Marcos also distanced himself from the impeachment process and said it is in the hands of the Senate. Here's a fact check from Rappler. Former President Rodrigo Duterte has not been released from detention at The Hague. A Facebook video which circulated on May 13 shows Duterte's supposed arrival at the Manila airport. Facebook user Nani Daladay Blando captioned it, "Tatay Digong, welcome back and congratulations." The post has been viewed at least 79,000 times, shared over 370 times, and received over 570 reactions. But a reverse search of the video used in the post revealed it was from Korean star Lee Min-ho's visit to the Philippines last April. An old video of Duterte was added at the end of the clip, making it appear that the video shows Duterte's arrival in Manila. Duterte remains at the ICC detention center in the Netherlands on charges of crimes against humanity. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services says it is terminating $60 million in federal grants to Harvard University, saying the institution allegedly failed to address anti-Semitic harassment and ethnic discrimination on campus. The department says in an ex-post, quote, "Due to Harvard University's continued failure to address anti-Semitic harassment and race discrimination, HHS is terminating multiple multi-year grant awards totaling approximately $60 million over their full duration." The department says Harvard still considers ethnicity when reviewing student applications and has allowed discrimination against Jewish students as a result of the pro-Palestinian student protests last year. Columbia University in New York also faced similar accusations of anti-Semitism. In recent weeks, U.S. President Donald Trump's administration stopped or paused nearly $3 billion in federal grants and contracts for the university. United States Vice President Vance met with Pope Leo XIV at the Vatican on Monday, May 19, and extended an invitation for Leo to make an official visit home. Vance, who was sharply criticized by the late Pope Francis over the Trump administration's hardline immigration policies, gave Leo a letter he said was from U.S. President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania, quote, "inviting you to come." A Vatican statement confirms that Vance and Leo had met but offered no details about their discussions. A Vance spokesperson said they met privately at first, then were joined by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who is also Catholic. Meantime, Pope Leo XIV is not expected to visit the U.S. soon. His first foreign trip will probably be to Turkey. The Vatican was preparing for the late Pope Francis to travel there this summer for the 1700th anniversary of an early church council. And that's today's wrap. I'm Kara Oliver. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. Follow us on Rappler's YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok.